I'm kind of genuinely just at the point where I think Scott Dixon could run from one side of the US to the other on maybe a tank or two of gas. It's kind of fucking ridiculous at this point. All right, Long Beach happened. Let's get into it. This is Push to Pass. All right, so the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach happened today and yesterday, if you're watching this. And finally, we had some real proper IndyCar racing for the first time in, I believe they said 5 weeks. And damn, it was really, really compelling. Fun race. The different strategies really played into it, obviously. But even with that, we had guys on the same strategy. Well, guys on the Newgarden Herta strategy. They were together or near enough to each other toward the whole race that you could never count anyone out. Obviously, Herta and Newgarden got into it a little bit at the end. We'll get to that. But yeah, man, absolutely love Long Beach. Definitely one of the best tracks in IndyCar. Obviously, it's a crown jewel. But yeah, great race today. All right, so we're just gonna jump right into it. Will Power and Felix Rosenqvist led him to the green. Felix got by him, or at the initial start, but Will was able to get back by, and he was able to kind of control the race to at least the first caution. Caution came out lap 14 for Christian Rasmussen, or lap 15, sorry. And yeah, it looked like he clipped the wall coming into 4 and then spun it around or something like that. Broke the rear of the car. Unfortunate into his day, but it's the way she goes. So this opened up the strategy for Scott Dixon and who else was on the strategy? Will Power is also on the strategy. It opened up their early stop strategy and saved to the end. And realistically, you heard, if you watched the race, you heard James Hinchcliffe go on and Townsend Bell as well, but go on and on about how there's no way that Scott Dixon should have been able to save as much as he did and still be able to use push to pass and stay in the lead and all this stuff. It's unbelievable. And it's one of those things where we're at a point now where we shouldn't be surprised by this because it's Scott Dixon and this is what he's been doing for 20, 25 or 20, however many years he's been in the series now. But it continues to amaze every time. And it's really kind of surprising. It's surprising in the fact that he keeps finding a new way to one-up himself, but it's also surprising in the way that we're surprised by it. Like, we shouldn't be at this point. It's Scott Dixon, but he just continues to amaze, and it's unbelievable. How does someone in this stage of their career continue to just show everyone up every time? I don't understand. Kudos to Scott, great call, or kudos to Mike Hull for a great call today. Kudos to Scott for making it work and doing a fantastic job at it. Awesome. All right, so obviously after the last round of pit stops completed, this set up Newgarden, I believe, 5.5 seconds behind Scott Dixon and chasing down and cut the lead off. He cut a lot of the lead off really quickly, and it was becoming apparent that it wasn't becoming apparent yet, but it felt very much like there's no way Scott Dixon can win this race because he literally doesn't have enough fuel to be able to use a push to pass and stay in front. But again, we all sold Scott Dixon short again because obviously he was able to save enough fuel to use the push to pass, enough at least to keep Joseph behind him. And that brought in Colton Herta, leading to, I guess we're going to call it the IndyCar bump and run. Obviously Newgarden and them were pretty adamant about the illegality of it. The booth was pretty adamant that that's kind of not enough to really call a penalty there. I'm kind of in agreement because if you really start calling a penalty there, then you're kind of open it up to calling pretty much anything a penalty these days. I wouldn't say that's what we need to be doing. And if it becomes more common to see guys just going in and boot scoot boogie guys out of the way, maybe we should take a look at it. But at this point, I don't see anything I don't see anything necessarily wrong with it. Good old bump and run, never hurt no one. I mean, I guess it did. Joseph Newgarden could have won the race today and then obviously did not. So I can understand why he was upset about it, but I can understand why they did not call a caution there. And from there, Scott Dixon went on to win the race. It was pretty much, I think Colton got within half a second, I believe, maybe closed into about 0.3 in a corner or two, but he never could get positioned enough to really get there, and it never really felt like Colton was actually going to win the race. All right, for Scott, that was his 56th career IndyCar Series win. I don't know where that puts him on the leaderboard. I'll put a little graphic up. Colton Herta obviously came home second. Alex Palou rounded out the podium in third. Newgarden, after the contact with Herta, fell down to fourth. Marcus Harrison rounded off the top five. Will Power, unfortunately for him, the winless streak still continues. He finishes sixth. Kyle Kirkwood in seventh. Decent run for them. Roman Grosjean had an eighth place run. Good run for them today. Rosenquist, after starting up front, I can't remember which strategy they were on. I never really saw them up at the front after a while, so they finished ninth, or he finishes ninth, sorry. Alex Rossi finishes 10th. Teo Pourchaire, I'm a dumb American, I apologize. He finishes 11th in his IndyCar debut. Good run for him. Marcus Armstrong in 12th. Linus Lundqvist ends up 13th. Rinus VeeKay 14th. And Agustin Canapino rounds out the top 15. In 16th, Pato O'Ward, he had a penalty for running into the back of Alex Rossi early in the race, and that set him behind. Graham Rahal, unfortunately, had a bad pit stop. His last stop, they couldn't get the fuel running. He finishes 17th. Stingray Robb in 18th. Kiffin Simpson, who was just in the way all day, he finishes 19th. Nolan Siegel in 20th. Santino Ferrucci finishes 21st. Tom Blomqvist gets 22nd. Christian Lundgaard ends up 23rd. Pietro Fittipaldi in 24th. Jack Harvey gets 25th. Scott McLaughlin had a rough day, finishes 26th. And unfortunately, as we covered earlier, Christian Rasmussen finishes 27th and last. All right, so that pretty much covers it. Long Beach was a great race, and I'm very much looking forward to Birmingham. This video might come out a little late next week because I'll be in Dover. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please comment, like, and subscribe, and see you guys next time.